top 3 disruptors that are going to change how the retail industry function. Anybody wants to have a guess? By the way, I think we all like little gifts, so I've got some books, my latest selling book. I would love to start giving it to people who will participate and contribute to making this a better keynote, which means I speak less and you engage more. Deal? Or anybody wants to give me the top 3 disruptors that are going to take over your industry? AI, who's the first person who said it? Yeah, that's the obvious. Okay, it's going to be a mission for me going down. I'll leave it for you here. Yeah, thank you. All right, well, there's actually three disruptors. That was an easy one, thank you. There are 3 disruptors that are coming your way. One of them, only one of them, is exponential tech. You've heard about AI, and there's generative AI, and there's all these automations and techs and beautiful companies providing all of that, but they're all, for me, they're part of one group. The other thing is your customers' identity is becoming very fragmented and very complex. You're dealing with a lot of inclusivity that is happening around the world now, regardless of what fits under that, whether it's from the gender to the nationalities. Like if you look at me, okay, I'm an Arab, but I'm a third culture kid. I was born somewhere, lived somewhere else, moved to another country, So where do I belong? Who am I? How can you sell to me is getting a little bit more complex than it used to be. And the great talent disruption, which means you are actually going to lose out on a lot of the talent that used to be important for you. So yes, AI is going to give you something, but it's going to take away a lot of things, including workforce that is leaving, that wants to work from home, that are choosing companies to work for rather than you choosing the employee, at least for good talent. True or not? Do you all agree that we're having challenge in getting good talent? Which is a deal breaker in retail, and I'm going to tell you later why in this presentation. Now, out of those 3, which one do you, well, let me rephrase the question, not out of those 3, what do you think is the biggest disruptor to your industry, including those 3? What would be the biggest disruptor to your industry? Consumer, who said consumer, hands up? Thank you, but it's not it is one of them because that's the identity, but what else? Technology, another one, what else? Product, they're all mentioned here, but here's the thing, I'll tell you what it is later in a bit, but I will tell you it's not technology. How many of you agree that it's not only tech? Well, I'll prove to you case in hand, because everybody's freaking out about tech and AI, and as I started researching, I realized that there's something beyond that. And the biggest case in hand is a very unfortunate situation involving one of the biggest airlines in the world. All of us know Boeing. Hopefully we all got on a plane one day, yeah? One of the specific Boeing 787 Dreamliner had no fatal accidents or hull losses since its inception in 2011 up till 2025 recently, with over 1 billion passengers. And it was considered one of the safest modern airliners in the globe, bar none. And then what happened? Anybody knows what I'm talking about? If you watch news, you probably do. Yeah, but do you know what happened actually? The investigation so far is pointing the finger at pilot. Pilot, thank you. So is the failure in tech? I don't think it needs any more tech. It's so advanced as a plane. The failure happened from a human error. So you can invest billions and you can buy every service being provided and you can do all the AI integration. It takes one person pressing the wrong button or not doing their job to make your business go down. And that's really what we're going to be talking about, because the retail industry future belongs to those leaders who connect deeply, not just compute quickly. What's happening is I started working on my new book, wanting to talk about the impact of AI on business, and the more I researched, all the arrows were pointing back where? They're pointing back to the leadership gap, not to the AI and tech gap, because AI and tech gap is moving so fast, leaders are falling behind. So throughout this presentation, for the next about 15 minutes or so, I'm going to tell you how you're going to end up with 21% more profitability, 17% more productivity, and 41% less absenteeism. Would you like that? I'm only going to give you guys. Would you like that? Thank you. I just want to know I flew all the way, so you're with me, okay? Thank you. But I need your help. I need you to be present. I need you to be focused, because in the next 15 minutes, I'm supposed to condense a 40-minute presentation in 15 minutes. That's going to take a lot of focus and a lot of interaction. So the more I have to do everything twice, we're not going to finish on time. Deal? And there's some More books to give away. Hopefully that keeps you engaged. Okay, we'll skip this. Okay, let's talk about leadership. Leaders of the past versus leaders of the future. If you think of history of leadership from day one, as when we were humans in the cave, the leaders were what? The most, who's that, powerful? Okay, you get a book. There you go. One book for you, you can grab it in a bit. Thank you. So, the most powerful, why? You needed physical superiority. Yeah, you needed physical superiority, which makes sense why throughout history men were over-dominating women in fields, because physical superiority had a place at that time. When you were bigger, it meant you could hunt, you can ward off threats, and so on. Now, as it evolved throughout history, yeah, we moved from cavemen to farmers, from farmers to having companies, and so on. What's the one consistent assumption that stayed throughout history for thousands of years? The leader is the most superior person. If I'm the biggest, I'm the leader. And those bigger people became what? Became the kings and the warriors. And if you notice throughout history, royalties were always associated to mythical creatures. That's to bring something that's much bigger and more superior than everybody else. But here's the question. Who has the most superior ability today? Money, thank you, very good one, but not yet, almost there, because there's something else that has more superior ability that brings you that money and that work. Wife, thank you. Who said wife? You win, thank you. FYI, that's my wife at the front, so I have to do that. Here's a book for you. So, who has the most superior ability today? AI. AI, you know, we're all here talking about AI, so I'm not neglecting the effect of AI. But for now, you still have your job as a senior executive. And I say for now, underline, okay? I don't know how long that's going to take. But if the most superior entity is an AI, a software, that could overtake our jobs, so what should we do? You need to change your leadership style to have a decent balance of AI element and human element. And I use the word AI now because it's the buzzword, but that's why I like to use emerging tech or exponential tech, because it's getting very complex. What AI has existed for so long, by the way. If any of you has been in tech, you'll know that AI has existed for like over 10 years. It's just the exponential and the GPTs and so on is getting more complex. So the reality is, this is going to impact every leader in the room. Who's a leader here? Put your hands up. Okay. I'm going to buy 2 minutes more, please, on this presentation, because I need you guys to have a discussion with the person next to you. How do you define a leader? Come on, let's do it. We've got 30 seconds. What's a leader? What's a leader? Okay, you've got no one to discuss. Anybody wants to share? The person who decides, so that's one definition here. She says the person who decides, that's partially right. That's a bit of an older paradigm because that was a superior decision maker. But very good, I agree with you. I think a CEO is usually a decision-making engine. Yes, sir? The person who can influence, give him a big round of applause. That's one of the biggest, I'd say, things is, a leader is someone, thank you, a leader is someone who influences others towards achievement of goals. A leader is someone who influences others towards achievement of goals. So when I asked, who's a leader here, I only got about 1/3 of the room. So regardless if you're the CEO, because that seems to be the definition of a leader, if you're in this room and you have a team that reports to you or works with you and you have to influence them, then who's a leader here? Put your hands up if you're a leader. Still, okay, hopefully more, but you get it. You're all leaders here. Okay, so we understand leadership is important because you can bring the biggest plane in the world with the highest tech and highest AI, and a person forgets a flick a switch, lives are lost. And I bring examples so big because it shows you how dangerous it is. Maybe it's okay if you lose a sale, but it's not okay for a human being to die, let alone so many human beings to die. So leadership is important, and it's a deal breaker in anything that you do. I'm talking about connected leadership. So what does connection mean? Can anybody define connection for me? One more book up for grabs. Anybody can define connection? Come on. Sorry? Time? A type built on alignment, considering she's the only one that spoke. Well done, you get it? Close enough. I'll get somebody to take it to you. Thank you very much. Give her a big round of applause. Be generous, guys. Come on. Thank you. A connection is a relationship that generates flow between parties. Make sense? You all agree? The connection is a relationship, which means it has to keep going, and it generates flow so we can get things done. So if you're connected with your team, whether leadership or subordinates or colleagues, you can generate flow, and the flow brings results. Why is connection important? Why is connection important? Yes, sir. Brings people together. Thank you very much. And if you don't, what happens is, without connection, what happens? Nothing. No connection, nothing happens. No power, nothing happens. Thank you. No power, nothing happens. Unplug power, microphone goes, screen goes, I can't present, connection is lost, doesn't work. What's the number one most important connection you need to have in the world? People, okay, close enough. Internet. Wi-Fi, yes, almost. What did you say? Knowledge, okay. All right, well, give a round of applause to the person who said people. It's close enough, but I want something specific before we say people. That's the second most important. Give him a big round of applause. That's the second most important connection to have. Okay, oops. The first most important connection is connection with yourself. Be honest and take a moment and tell me how many of you in the line of your job, in the line of work, in the line of pressure, have lost connection with yourself. Yeah. Guilty as charged also, even when I do this, because sometimes life pressure, travel, family, whatever happens. Usually this is about the time when I take a moment and get you to do a meditation. Unfortunately, we don't have time for that. So my number one advice, whatever you have to do, find the connection with yourself. Because you're not going to be able to connect with the second most important group, which is connection with people around you, with others around you. And in context of work, that means your colleagues, your managers, your clients, and everybody else. So why is connection important for a leader? Anyone? Influence, thank you very much. Who said influence? Hands up. Yeah, thank you. Trust. Growth. Influence, trust, and growth. Well, 3 books. Can somebody help me with there's a box of books right behind you there, guys, in the corner, in the table. Can somebody help me with the box, please? All right, so if you think you're a big fish, big retailer, and I've seen some major names out there, and they're all going to be on the panel after this, think twice, because you're never big enough for the collective. Any of you, as an individual, think you're big enough, think again, because you're never going to be big enough for the collective, especially in a day and age where technology is changing everything and people themselves are changed. If you notice the 3 circles I gave you, only 1 is tech and 2 is people, your customers and your team. So people are a bigger breaking point for you. So you really need connection with people around you. And I like an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So why is it more important in retail? Number 1 is retail is a human to human at scale. It's an industry where if you think compared to a bank or compared to other services, probably hospitality and retail have the closest human to human connection. And all these personalization technologies that you're seeing, they are not going to work if you forget to do what? To flick the switch. So human connection and human error is going to be more important. Second thing, it's customers buy trust, not just products. Do you all agree? The customer experience, the user journey, and all of that is going to change so much for you. So even if your product is the best quality product, what actually happens is if you're not really connected to the people around you, you're not going to gain the trust whether of your teams or of your employees, even in luxury goods. Because if you're buying an expensive watch or an expensive shoe or whatever, what are people buying? They're trusting you that if I buy your product, somebody's going to think I'm rich, or somebody's going to think I can afford it, or whatever story that we're telling ourselves. So whether you think you're in luxury or whatever, trust is the story. And retail has the shortest distance between leadership and customer impact. Again, think of a bank, think of other services, B2B, the distance, it's a little bit of an arm's length, and it feels a bit disconnected compared to retail, which feels very personal, because as personal as it gets, because if I buy a shirt, I'm the one wearing it, yeah? So that's very close to heart to the clients. Third most important connection is being connected to a bigger purpose throughout your organization. For the 3 people that just spoke, I owe you books, guys, they're just there, I'll grab them when I'm done. How to be a connected leader in the age of disruption. All right, so you need to balance human-centered skills with tech. That's really what it's about. If you put too much focus on tech, which is what I'm seeing now, everybody's talking tech, 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 you're missing the bigger connection, especially for your industry. Anybody wants to tell me what's the differentiating factor between leader of the past and leader of the future? We spoke about leaders of the past being the all-knowing, the all-powerful. What's different about the leader of the future, the leader of today? Philosophy? Change? Agile mindset? Adaptability? Pace? You're all correct, but I'm looking for one thing specific, and I'll tell you what it is. Leader of today and tomorrow is dealing with a knowledge workforce. What's different about managing a knowledge workforce? Thank you. Who said you know more than you? Big round of applause. You get yourself a book. There you go. Your book is here. They know more than you. So if you want to solve your whole leadership challenges, and if you take nothing out of today, and I walk off the stage now, I'll leave you with this. Leaders of the past knew how to tell, and the leader of the future knows how to ask. And if there's anything I do in my coaching with leaders, that's really what I teach them. The first thing is learn how to ask. Because in the past, you knew more than your teams. Today, AI knows more than all of you put together. So really, it's not about telling, it's about asking so you can find the right answer, because the CEO knows a lot less than the C-suite working with them. Do you all agree? Yes or yes? All right. So does connection pay off? Does connection pay off? Is it worth this hassle? Is it worth the effort you're going to pay? I get paid top dollar to come to companies, work with leaders, help build connection throughout the whole organization. Is it worth the money? Don't take my word for it. I'll tell you a recent research from Gallup says leaders who focus on connections see 21% higher profitability, 17% higher productivity, and 41% less people claiming a sick day. We all know that sick day, yeah? We've all claimed it sometimes. So why do you all first agree that connection, leadership is, who's a leader here? Everybody. And leadership is important. More important is connected leadership, because connected leadership means that you are able to work with people that know more than you. And when you ask the people that know more than you, you get the right answers and you increase the level of connection. Make sense? Okay, do we all agree that connected leadership is important in an organization? Yes or yes? Beautiful. What's the strategy to create a connection? I'm running a few minutes behind, guys. I'll be off the stage soon, I know. Timer is blinking in my... Anybody wants to tell me what's the best strategy to bring a connected leadership to the organization? Sorry? Listen, thank you, that's one of them. Ask, that's the tool. Empower, thank you. I'm looking for a big word that incorporates all of this. Authentic, that's also right. And here's the thing. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. So no matter who you pay or who you bring or what you do, if you do not have a true culture of connected leadership where everybody understands that they have to ask more than they talk, they have to listen, and so on. There's a lot of frameworks that I usually share in a longer talk. You need to create culture. How do you create culture? First, you connect with yourself. Then you connect with the tribe around you. Then you create a leadership team that's highly connected. Then you've got a connected company, which then leads connection to profit. So don't think it's like AI where it's going to be a software you plug in today and you see the results tomorrow. Generally speaking, that's about a 6 month per stage. So that leads us into having a whole company culture transformation. So that would be the summary of everything I can do by compressing a long talk into short things. What's your biggest takeaway? Anybody? What's your biggest takeaway? Connection. Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway. So here's the thing, guys. I will leave you with this. The longest distance a leader has to walk is between their mouth and their feet. The longest distance a leader has to walk is between their mouth and their feet, because it's very easy to say, very hard to do. With that, I would really love, if you want, we don't have time for Q&A, so I'm going to get off stage now. And if you'd want to stay connected, please reach out on LinkedIn or reach out on Instagram, or I'll be here for the next few hours, and I might have still some books with me. I owe 4 books, 3 that spoke earlier and 1 person at the end. I have those with me. Thank you very much for having me here, and you guys are awesome. Appreciate it.